Om Shanti. So, good morning. Good morning to everyone. You're in this part of the world. Good evening. Good morning. Happy morning. Powerful morning. Beautiful morning. Beautiful and powerful. This is what is today's Murli. Baba is speaking to us. This is Avyakt Bapdada. And Baba is talking about our good fortune. Baba says, just see how fortunate you children are. How lucky you children are. How are we lucky? We are lucky because Baba has given the pen to write our own fortune. That pen is with us. What is that pen about? It is our own elevated actions that create good fortune. So, I'll be speaking Baba's Murli directly because it's really so touching, so beautiful. Your eyes will be brimmed with tears. So nice how Baba is looking at our fortune. So ready? Everyone ready? Okay. This Murli originally it was spoken on 7th of March 1988. And today we are reading it on the 22nd of August 2021. The list of elevated fortune of the elevated children. So, where will you sit to listen to this Murli? Let us all transport ourselves to Om Shanti Bhavan. Om Shanti Bhavan, where Baba is sitting on the stage and we are sitting in front of him. Not much distance. How many of you were there when Baba spoke this Murli? How many of you were there? Yes? Kindly raise your hands. Let me see. Okay, 1988. Few. Doesn't matter. Today, Bap Dada, the bestower of fortune, is seeing his fortunate children. The fortune of each Brahmin child is extremely elevated compared to the fortune of ordinary souls of the world. Because each Brahmin soul is among the few out of millions and one amongst that few. On the one hand, there are 5.5 billion souls. And on the other hand, there is the small world of you Brahmins. You souls are so few compared to the rest of them. This is why, in comparison with those souls without knowledge, all of you Brahmins are extremely fortunate. Bap Dada is seeing that the line of fortune is sparkling very clearly like a tilak on the forehead of each Brahmin. Worldly fortune tellers see the fortune on the hands, whereas the line of divine, godly fortune is visible on each child's forehead. Baba is seeing the great fortune of his children, which is written on the forehead. In India, when people look at the fortune of anyone, they look at their forehead. And I don't know, by reading the forehead, they prophesize and they say, oh, good fortune, this and that. So Baba is looking at our good, great fortune. Baba says, the foreheads of the fortunate children are constantly sparkling with spiritual light to the extent that their fortune is elevated. What other signs of fortunate children are visible? There will be the experience of constantly having a divine smile, a spiritual smile on the face. Sometimes you see, her forehead is very bright, very shiny. So, similarly, Baba says, second sign of fortunate children is beautiful smile on the face. It is spiritual smile, divine smile. And the eyes of a fortunate child will constantly be instrumental in creating waves of happiness within whoever he meets. Whoever receives his glance will experience spirituality, godly remembrance, and the spiritual father. Each soul, did you get this point? Through the eyes, people would be able to experience Baba. Through the eyes, such vibrations will be elicited through which that create waves of happiness. Then Baba says, each soul who comes into contact with a fortunate soul will have the experience of lightness, that is, of light. Brahmin souls will remain number-wise till the end. But these are the number-wise signs of all the fortunate children, and they will continue to be revealed even more in the future. Let the time carry on for a little bit longer. Within a short time, when you have the experience of both the extremes and the end, those souls everywhere in the world who have no knowledge will have an attitude of limited disinterest. Whereas you fortunate souls will be experiencing an attitude of unlimited disinterest. Others will have limited disinterest, meaning sometimes it is there, sometimes it is not. And for us, it will be constant, it will be unlimited. As yet, those worldly people do not have that disinterest. Now, after little rehearsals take place, they fall asleep again in the sleep of carelessness, thinking that they will keep happening. However, when the scenes of the extreme and the end appear, the attitude of limited disinterest will be created automatically, and due to there being extreme tension, everyone's attention will be drawn to the one Father. At that time, the sound that will emerge from the heart of each soul will be that the Creator of all, the Father of all, is one, and their intellects will automatically move away from all other directions and go in the one direction. At that time, the stage of you fortunate children who have an attitude of unlimited disinterest will become natural and constant, and the line of fortune on each one's forehead will be clearly visible. Even now, what is it that always remains in the intellects of you elevated, fortunate children? What is that remains? God, Bhagwan, and the fortune, Bhagya. In Hindi it is Bhagya, and for God it is Bhagwan. Check. From Amrit Vela and make a list of your fortune. At Amrit Vela, the Father himself wakes up the fortunate children and also invokes them. Those who are extremely loving children also experience that someone is not letting them sleep, even though they want to sleep. It is the experience with everyone. Amrit Vela, Baba does not allow us, he does not let us sleep. Someone is waking them, someone is calling them. This is the experience you have. Is it not? Just look at your fortune from Amrit Vela. In devotion, the devotees consider deities to be God and ring bells to wake them. Whereas here it is God Himself who wakes you. It is such great fortune. From Amrit Vela, Baba becomes a server and serves you. He also invokes you. Come, experience the stage of being equal to the Father. Sit with me. Therefore, where is the Father sitting? In a high place and in a high stage. Baba is sitting at the high place and at the high stage. So, if you are sitting with the Father, what would your stage be? Naturally, why are you laboring? Just come and sit with me. And you will automatically be colored by the company. Your stage automatically becomes according to the place. Just as when you come to Madhuban, what does your stage become? Do you have to have yoga? Or is there yoga anyway? This is why you want to stay here a little bit longer. If all of you received an order to stay for another 15 days, you would dance in happiness. Baba says, if you get this permission to stay in Madhuban for extra 15 days, everyone will dance. If we are allowed to go to Madhuban now, what will happen? All of us will dance, rush, yes. And immediately, because Madhuban is Madhuban. Baba says, so just as a place has an influence over the stage, in the same way, at Amrit Vela, either go to the supreme abode or to the subtle region and sit with the Father. If Amrit Vela is powerful, help will automatically be received throughout the day. Therefore, keep your fortune in your consciousness. Wow, my fortune, that my day begins with God. Wow, Baba, wow, wow, mera bhagya. My day begins with God. My day begins with Baba. Then, look at your fortune further. The Father Himself becomes the teacher and comes from the far away land to teach you. People try to go to God. People try to go to God. Whereas God Himself, in the form of the teacher, comes to teach you. It is such great fortune. And He has been carrying out this duty of service for so long? Does he ever become lazy? Does he ever make excuses such as, today I have a headache, or I wasn't able to sleep last night? So, just as the father becomes the tireless server and does service, in the same way, you children should also be tireless servants like the father. Baba said, do I say so? Oh, I cannot give Murli today because I have headache. I cannot do this because this is what happened. Baba says, I never say so. Do we children say so? Do we say so? Yes, 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 yes. Do we say so? Oh, Baba, we did not sleep last night, so I was not able to get up. Baba, today a lot of service is there, so I wanted to sleep. Baba, today I had headache. This is why I was absent. Baba listens to all our excuses. So he's speaking in the Murli straight away. He says, I never do that with you, but you children, at times, you do this. Huh? All of you who are listening, do you do that? I'm sure not. Huh? I'm sure West Coast's children are very nice children. Huh? Very studious. Huh? You never say so. Do you say so? Do you say so? No, 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 Baba, no. So Baba says, so just as the father becomes a tireless server and does service, in the same way, you children should also be tireless servers like the father. However, just look in your daily timetable to see how great your fortune is. Baba says to you, constantly loving, long lost and now found children. Whatever service you do, whether it is lokic or alokik service of the family or service at the center, whatever actions you perform, whatever duty you fulfill, always have the experience that Karavan Har, the one who makes you do it, is enabling you to do it. I have been made an instrument, Karanha, the one who does it for the sake of service. Karavanhar is making you do it. Here also, you are not alone. Baba, in the form of Karavanhar, is with you at the time of performing actions. You are just an instrument. God is Karavanhar, especially for me. Why do you do anything by yourself? When there is the consciousness, I alone am doing something, this consciousness of I is a door for Maya to enter. I'm alone, I'm doing it. So this is a door for Maya. Then you say that Maya has come. You have just opened the door for which Maya has been waiting in anticipation. And since you have provided all the arrangements, why won't she enter? Baba says, you have given her permission, you have opened the doors, so why shouldn't she enter? Also, keep the fortune of yours in your consciousness that the Father, Karavanhar, the one who is inspiring actions, is making you perform each action, and there won't then be a burden. The burden is always on the master. There is never a burden on the companions. When you become the master, there is a burden. I'm a child, and the father is the master. And so the master is making me the child to do it. When you become big, there is great sorrow. However, Baba is clarifying, when you start considering yourself that you are the master, Baba says, okay, if you consider yourself to be the master, then naturally burden will be there. But if you are a child, then master is Baba. Baba will take care of all burden. If you consider yourself to be the master, then you have to bear. Baba says, when you become the master, there is a burden. I'm a child, and the father is the master. And so the master is making me the child to do it. When you become big, there is great sorrow. Become the child and do it according to the master's directions. Therefore, this great fortune in which Baba becomes responsible for each action is such that it makes you light and makes you fly. However, what happens instead? When a problem comes, you say, Baba, you know what should be done now? Then, when the problem is removed, you become intoxicated. However, why should you do anything for such a problem to come? Simply continue to perform every action according to the direction of the Father, Karavanhar. The action will then be elevated, and the fruit of elevated actions is constant happiness and constant lightness. And you will continue to experience an angelic life. Angels enter a relationship with karma, but do not become bound by any bondage of karma. And since there is a relationship with the Father, Karavanhar, there can never be any arrogance of I in the consciousness of your being an instrument. You will become constantly humble in carrying out the task of renewal. So, how great your fortune is. Who is feeding you with Brahma Bhojan? The very name is Brahma Bhojan. It is not Brahma Bhojan. It is Brahma Bhojan. Brahma is constantly the protector of the yajna. Each child of the yajna, that is, each Brahmin child, has to receive Brahma Bhojan through Brahma, the Father. People just say casually that God is feeding them. They don't know who God is. Yet, God is feeding them. However, for you Brahmin children, it is the Father who feeds you. Even if you are earning and accumulating in Lokic life, and you buy your food from that, you first put your earnings into the Father's Bandara. The Father's Bandara then becomes the Bandara of Bholanath, the innocent Lord. Never forget this method. Otherwise, you will think that you yourself are earning and that you yourself are eating from that. You are a trustee. A trustee does not own anything. I am eating from my earnings. These thoughts would never arise. Since you are a trustee, you have given everything to Baba. It now belongs to you. It does not belong to me. A trustee means to have the consciousness of yours, whereas a householder means to have the consciousness of mine. And so, who are you? You are not householders, are you? God is feeding you. You are receiving Brahma Bhojan. Those who are Brahmin souls automatically have this intoxication, and the Father guarantees that Brahmin souls will not be hungry for 21 birds. You will be fed dal, roti, and sabji. Baba says, you will receive this for 21 birds. No one will be hungry. So, Baba says, you will be fed dal, roti, and sabji with a lot of love. In this birth too, you will eat the dal and roti of love, not of effort. Therefore, from Amrit Vela, keep in your consciousness all the fortune that you have received. Think about your whole timetable in this way. It is also the Father who puts you to sleep, singing you a lullaby. Go to sleep in the Father's lap, and all tiredness and illness will be forgotten, and you will rest in comfort. Simply say, come Rama, Rama, and you will be comforted. When you sleep alone, thoughts continue to come one after another. Go to sleep with the Father. Go to sleep in the lap of remembrance. Go to sleep listening to the lullaby of sweet child, lovely child. And see what a unique experience you will have. So from Amrit Vela until night time, God makes you do everything. The one who makes everyone move is making you move. The one who makes everyone do something is making you do it. Therefore, constantly keep this fortune in your consciousness. Let this emerge. Unless you drink a drink for limited intoxication, your intoxication will not rise. If it is just kept in the bottle, would you become intoxicated? Similarly, your intellects have been filled with it, so now use it. To bring it into your consciousness means to drink it, to let it emerge. This is known as becoming an embodiment of remembrance. You have not been told to keep it merged in your intellects. Become embodiments of remembrance. You are so fortunate. Therefore, keep your fortune in your consciousness every day. Become powerful and continue to fly. Do you understand what you have to do? Double foreigners have the experience of limited intoxication. So now, keep this unlimited intoxication in your consciousness, and the elevated line of fortune will remain constantly sparkling on your foreheads. It will be clearly visible. At the moment, the line of some is merged, and for others, it is clearly visible. However, if you constantly keep it in your consciousness, it will remain sparkling on your foreheads and will continue to give this experience to others. Asha, to the elevated, powerful souls who are constantly embodiments of remembrance of God and their fortune, to the elevated souls who constantly have the consciousness of being Karanha while performing actions, to the fortunate children who stay in a high place, in a high stage with the Father at Amrit Vela, to the special Brahmins who give others the experience of the line of elevated fortune on their foreheads. To such souls, Bab Dada's love, remembrances, and Namaste. Okay. At the time of Bab Dada taking leave, Dadi Janki takes leave to go on service to Bombay and Kurukshetra. The Maharathis have on their feet the wheels of service. Wherever you go, nothing happens except service. No matter what your reason for going is, service is merged in it. At every step, there's nothing but service. Even when walking, there is service done while you walk. Even when eating food, you call someone to eat with you. You eat with love, and that is also service. While waking, sitting, and walking, There is service and only service. You are such servers. To have a chance to do service is also a sign of fortune. You have to become the great rulers of the globe, and so the wheels of service are also great. Asha. Blessing. May you keep your stage constant, unshakable, and immovable, even in a Tamoguni atmosphere, as a master almighty authority. Day by day, the situations are going to become more and more Tamopradhana, and the atmosphere will get worse. In order to remain detached like a lotus flower, make your state Sadopradhan. You need to have that much courage and power. When you keep this blessing in your awareness, our Master Almighty Authority, then no matter what test comes in front of you, through matter, yogic relations, or the divine family, you will always be constant, unshakable, and immovable. Slogan. Make the Father the bestower of blessings, your true companion, and your apron will remain filled with blessings. Make the Father the bestower of blessings, your true companion, and your apron will remain filled with blessings. So this was today's Murli. How lovely, how powerful, such a beautiful Murli. Baba says, I am doing what? I am looking at your fortune. Do we look at our fortune this way as Baba has done? But today when Baba has said so, we will also revise and we will see how nice our fortune is. Okay. So, do you feel intoxicated? Do you feel intoxicated? Yes or no? If yes, raise just yes, Baba. I am intoxicated. How lucky, how fortunate I am. I'm fortunate. I'm so fortunate.